good evening, everyone. Welcome to Friday Night Racing, which is, of course, on a Friday, which is why it's called Friday Night Racing, of course, a part of the RRC franchise, and we are here for a round 5 here in China. Got to make the most of China, actually, because it seems like the China might not be on the map for the actual Formula One season, which is a big shame. It really is. I'd say it's one of the more fan favourites of the Formula 1 calendar, because I gotta say, China usually produces more often than not some absolutely fabulous racing. I mean, the track layout doesn't really show much in terms of of it not being an actual good track, but my goodness me, it does. It produces absolutely some splendid racing. As I'm tripping over my words because I'm actually trying to try and get this stream copied and pasted into the relevant Discord chat thing. As I gotta say, I do struggle with the old technology these days. I'm very happy that I actually, get this stream to even work in the first place. So, that's always an achievement for me then. But here we go then. We are ready to get racing around China, Shanghai International Circuit. There's hopefully going to be no coronavirus or anything, any kind of jazz here tonight. It's all about the racing, isn't it? And we are ready to get going then. I'm in my best shirt. Albeit, well, it used to be my best shirt until I wore it today. Not anymore. It's my work shirt now, unfortunately. And you can see that we're in qualifying then for Q1. We got 3 parts to qualifying, and we'll take you through the action as we go through it then. So I get the old telemetry up there as well, just to make me sound smart as well. And I almost swallowed my tongue before I even got going there. Blimey, I need to learn to open my mouth to breathe. Goodness me, then we've got 17 cars, 17 drivers that will be attacking this beautiful circuit. It's one of my favourites. I do love China. Been on the F1 calendar since 2004, if I'm not very much mistaken. And we've had some fantastic racing, and we've had also a couple of firsts as well. I think Schumacher and Patrick Friesacher, 2005, wasn't it? Clashed on their it wasn't their formation lap, was it? It was kind of their lap going to the grid where they crashed into each other, just coming out of turn 4, I think it was. That was unique, wasn't it? Of course, Patrick Friesacher, the minority driver, no less. I think everyone knows who Schumacher is. I think he needs no introduction at all. That was interesting. Of course, it was also Red Bull's first ever win. They got actually a 1-2 around here, didn't they, back in 2009? That was the first race of the 2009 season where we didn't have a Brawn GP win it, did we? So so that was a cracking race, wasn't it? It was a proper wet old race, wasn't it? We had 2 wet races there, didn't we? So we also, if anyone remembers, the absolute deluge that it was Malaysia. My goodness me, that was a proper wet race, wasn't it? Well, I think it only lasted like 29 odd laps, and I think there's about 56 around Malaysia. So yeah, that was a short and sweet one. I was a bit disappointed with that. I'm a man who quite likes my sleep and get up in the morning. It has to be a special occasion, and of course, Formula One is always a special occasion, even in Australia where it's like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. I think I've heard that Japan's time has also moved as well this season, so that's gonna be horrific, isn't it? Get up at that time. But luckily, that's later on in the year. We don't have to worry about that now. All we got to worry about is, of course, the Friday Night Racing, and we'll be getting going in just a few moments' time. We've already got a couple of cars out on track. Then, whilst I've been yabbering away, we're on board with Steve AMG F1 in the McLaren. And this man's a fairly quick driver. He's on the hard compound tyre then, and he is just getting into the DRS zone now. He's the first man out on track, I believe, in terms of running order anyway. Whilst that's going on, let's quickly take you through the drivers and the constructors standings, shall we? As to be honest, what I should have done was I should have got up on my phone straight away, but there's me being all mouth and no substance as usual. Steve, I come through the final corner. Let's go on board with the McLaren driver, shall we then? So in the drivers' championship, after round 4, I've got to say it was an absolutely cracking race, wasn't it? Silver and Gold produced some incredible racing. I was commentating on the silver chat, I believe it was, and so on the silver race, and I got to say that was an absolutely incredible race, wasn't it? Really enjoyed that race. It was absolutely amazing stuff. It really was. Anyway, let's go. As we're on board, Steve Vanity is on the hard compound tire, so we're just enjoying that lap around with Steve. Jonathan Cox is currently top of the tree, at the top of the standings. He's in the Toro Rosso on 73 points. Dan Murphy's had a strong start. He's on 58 points. Exile third with 45. Fisher on 43 with Navgo on 39 points, 37 points for Oh no, for RNG, I think that's right. I'm sorry if I pronounced that completely wrong. From 37 points, then we've got Stringy on 22 points, Echo on 14, with Nigel on 12, New F1 on 12 as well. So we've got a yellow flag because we've got Brayley who's gone already, and I think he's gone the pit straight. So I wonder if he has a qualifying ban, I think, for his misdemeanors. Possibly. Well, we'll find out in a minute. I need to learn to read the parish notices, don't I? I always seem to miss up. I'm so keen on getting the stream started. I really completely forget about qualifying bans and all that kind of stuff. So unfortunately for Brayley, he will not be taking part in this qualifying session. So we are aiming to lose one driver in this session. And whilst I'm waffling away, let's just take a look to see what's the McLaren doing. He's on the hard tyre, Stevie. He's gone across the line and he's gone faster, but that is quickly eclipsed by Toon Fan, who's on a 32.8, but Echo on a 32.1. Great stuff there from the second McLaren driver then. These times are coming through quite nicely indeed. That we've got Murphy, who is not on track at the moment. I thought he was. In comes the Ferrari driver of LH44, car 19, going very wide there out of the final turn there, but that doesn't make a difference for him, does it? He's at 4/10 of a second off the pace at the moment of Echo. We've got a new driver here, and I'll come back to him in just a few moments. As we have got Navgo, who is just Navgo Meister, has just moved up to second position. We're on board Stead at the moment. Not the John Stead. We've got a famous Stead here in the Haas and car 38, and in the Haas as he accelerates away out of the hairpin now, and he's just got one more corner to make then to set a time here in qualifying. Gotta say, we're 6 minutes into it already. My goodness me. Stead, they're coming across the line, and he got on third fastest. Good time there from the Haas driver. On board the debutant here, and whilst we're on board the debutant, I will get around to saying I'm sure everyone is looking forward to seeing me try to pronounce his name. In the constructors, Toro Rosso have got I'd say a commanding lead. 9 points is not a commanding lead at all, is it, in Formula 1 these days? But they are top, and they are top of the championship at the moment, with Mercedes second. We've got Racing Point in third on 101, and then the rest of the teams are all out, not in the triple figures. Williams on 87, then we've got Renault on 79 points. Ferrari are 60 points away from the leaders. Alfa Romeo 82 points, then we've got McLaren 89, 91 for Red Bull, and Haas on 35. I think Haas had a cracking old had a cracking old race in Hungary for the silver point, didn't they? Had a brilliant race there. And the debutant of KRC has just got up to third fast at the moment, and he's doing it. That's a very good time now from the debutant. My goodness, because I gotta say, it's very when you make your debut. I was very nervous. I made my debut in a. It was almost a year ago. It was almost a year ago today. I remember it quite well because I was bricking myself and everything. I was very happy with myself because I think I did an okay time actually. I finished 13th out of 14 runners, and I think that was an achievement for me because finishing a race, finishing anything I do is a achievement in my lifetime. So yeah, I was quite happy with that. Stringy there has just come into start us out now. We're on board with Stringy then in the Toro Rosso. He comes over the grid hatch and says, "Look at this! This is an incredible, spectacular media centre." As String goes underneath it now, and he flies into what we've got a yellow flag on the back straight. I think that's the second Toro Rosso of Jonathan Cox, the championship leader at the moment, who is sitting very nicely at the top of the standards, isn't he? I apologise to you guys. I've kind of neglected you in the old chat there whilst I've been sorting out this contraption I call a mobile phone. But yeah, we've got another yellow flag in the far section. So that's Jonathan Cox. Just getting out of the way. Jonathan Cox saying, "Good evening, Sean. Good evening, Jonathan. Hope you are." Of course, Jonathan will now be on track and attacking this beautiful Shanghai International Circuit. We got LH44. Evening. Good evening, LH. Hope you're having a lovely time out there. Well, he's having an okay time though. He's fifth fast in the Ferrari at the moment. We're aiming to lose one driver in this session. We'll talk about that in a minute. And Jonathan, of course, from my Ted Kravitz in the pit lane, and he has just confirmed it's a dry race. Talking of pit lane gossip, there's been a lot of activity down in the old paddock club this afternoon. Stephen, that's there. Friday night's racing. Very own Craig Slater Craig Slater-esque kind of reporting. It's been on top of everything, hasn't it? There's been all sorts of interesting people visiting each other's garages and all that kind of stuff. Remember, keep an eye out later on tonight, because there is something is definitely brewing, isn't it, in the background. Talking to brewing, here comes Stringy. He's about to brew something up nicely now, and he comes across the line. He gone at 6 fast at the moment in the Toro. So Murphy is out on track at the moment in the Mercedes. We leave Murphy to it for the time being. We're on board with Jonathan, the British-Italian driver. Then he's coming out of the very long, I think it's turn 13 that was then, and he's down the back straight now. There's 2 DRS zones around here, one on the start finish straight and one coming down into this breaking point here, then turn 14 then, and then there's turn 15, which basically is not a turn at all, is it? But I think it is classified as a turn on the old track map, isn't it? Now it's turn 16 then, it's a left right hand. Oh, Jonathan going over the AstroTurf there, but he should be alright. He is more than alright. He's done a 31-1. My goodness me, that's purple, triple purple there for the British Italian driver. Fantastic stuff indeed there for Jonathan. Wow, I said it was an alright time. It's more than alright. That's an incredible time there from Jonathan there. Really trying to strengthen his championship advantage there, isn't it? Here comes Murphy, who's second at the moment. Look at this, he's hugging the lot. He's second fastest. Look at those 2 championship contenders in the 31s already in this session. Blimey. Wow, they've had their cereal today, haven't they? They've definitely had their shredded wheat, or wheats. Yeah, it's shredded wheat, isn't it? I'm more of a toast fan. Yeah, incredible stuff there. Steve is now having another crack at the, another bite of the cherry, so to speak, isn't he? As we're on board there with Grillsy in the Williams end. He is now going on to the second part of the lap now. Of course, the track is split up into 3 sectors, as is all of in the Formula 1. If you watch MotoGP, it's split up into 4 sessions. And Steve there almost visiting the gravel there. That's a pretty good effort there, but I'm wondering if Steve must have invaded his time somewhere, so he is going to we'll leave Steve to it for the minute whilst he recomposes himself. We're on board Grillsy then, and he is just coming through this banked right hander here, and on the back straight you need a good slingshot there, don't you? And now then, this is a 1.5 kilometer straight, I believe it is, or 1.2, I can't remember. I keep getting this one and Fiji mixed up. And I don't know why. It's because I heard an interesting stat about it being the longest straight in Formula 1, but that was back in 2007 or 8, so I don't even know if that's right anymore. There's my research there, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. You can see, very good. You can tell that I failed everything in the college and all that kind of stuff. Grillsy is up into 4 fast at the moment in the Williams. Good stuff there from Grillsy, right in there. Steve Fair actually improved to 8th position there, even though he was a very long way out. I think it was turn 9 and 10, wasn't it? He was a very long way out there, wasn't he? I mean, he did nearly go into the gravel there, didn't he? Here comes Nigel then in the Red Bull, accelerating out of turn 15 then. One more corner to go for Nigel. Nigel's had a bit of a disappointing start to the season, hasn't he? And I love that how there for Nigel, and he crosses the line, and he's in the 31s as well. So we got Jonathan, Dan Murphy and Nigel all in the 31s, and the 777 recurring there for Nigel, and he's on his way. Here comes Brandon then on New F1. We're on first name terms now, me and Brandon are. So yes, I'm finally accepted in the F1 community. Love it. Anyway, Brandon there is coming out of turn 12 now, and here he is then coming onto the bank corner now. And talking to Brandon, he's gone bonjour Moonwari. I don't know. I can't speak French. I can barely speak English, let alone French. Brandon there is just on the DRS on the back straight now. Well, we're 10 minutes into this session, and I haven't even explained what's going on around here. Of course, anyone who's new to Formula 1, I hope you're enjoying this. Welcome. It's the best sport in the world, in my opinion. It really is. Of course, it's a global sport as well. It's a global phenomenon that Formula 1 is. Here comes Brandon coming up to the line now. He's gone up to 13th fastest, so he's going to be feeling a bit uncomfy there. Brandon in the Haas. Yeah. So what are they doing at the moment? Then, of course, I've already said that Brayley's out of qualifying. Why is that? Well, because Brayley, of course, has retired from the session because he has got a qualifying ban, if I'm not very much mistaken. So that's why he's out. But we're also aiming to lose another 2 cars. Well, we're aiming to lose 1 car in this session. So what this is, we're aiming to lose then 16th and 17th in this session. So whoever is 16th and 17th in this session, when the clock strikes 0, or when you finish a lap, depending on which one of those two is the latter, then you will be knocked out of qualifying. At the moment is Exxon and Samuel, who is down in the drop zone at the moment. So they need to start to get a move on. XR has got a move on in the Williams head, so he's out on track at the moment, and a lovely pink and white helmet there. Beautiful stuff there from XR. And he's coming on the back straight as well, and he's he's coming down the back straight. And look at this then. Wait for it. Listen to that. We didn't even hear the beat. That's incredible. XR right on the money there, right on the button. And where does he break then? Incredible, isn't it? These the break-ins on these cars, it's absolutely phenomenal. I gotta say, if I was in these cars and if I break like that, I would lose my lunch. That is absolutely fantastic. XR coming up to the line now as well. Let's see what he can do. And it's a 32-1 there for XR, just floated on the outside of the 31s there. Good stuff indeed. Yellow flag in intermediate 2 there, or sector 2 I should say. Yeah, there's some mischief going on there. Toon is just trying to come. Oh, his grills is retired from the session. He is in the pit. Right, if you retire on track, well, if you damage your car on track and it can't get back to the pit, then you're out of qualifying. It's a bit of a brutal business, this is. Of course, back in the good old days, I think it was back in 2002 and before, they used to have T cars, didn't they? They used to just rebuild the cars overnight. They was completely different cars to the race on Sunday. It was incredible, wasn't it, how they do it? And yeah, they used to break down and have all kinds of mechanical failures and things like that. Today, the cars are put into park firmly after qualifying. I can't remember what that's French for, but basically they can't touch the cars, can they? So mechanics can't touch the cars, so that's why so everything that they've built now in qualifying, that's it. Your setup's locked in, or you could have a bit of a play with some bits and pieces on the car. And Toon is coming into the pits, but that's about it. Of course, that little bit of track there still haunts me to this day. Of course, being a big old Lewis Hamilton fanboy, I am. Yes, that bit really hurt me in 2007. Of course, it was a great race to watch, but from a Hamilton point of view, yeah, it still haunts me. So very, I was very upset about that still. As you can probably tell, on board then with Stead then at the moment. He's accelerating now, turn 3 then. Of course, it goes back in on itself, don't it, turn 1, 2 and 3. It's a really unusual start to the lap here in Shanghai. Jonathan is retired from the session. Talking to Jonathan, he is very happy with that lap. And why wouldn't you be? Straight out the gates there, didn't even need a warm-up lap, did he? I think he was retired from the session as well. And so is Nigel then. So is the guys that now start to retire. We've only got 2.5 minutes to go. This is quite a long old lap. 1.5 minutes and 90 seconds it takes to do a very competitive time around here. Well, if you do 90 seconds, then that'll be fastest. Of course, Jonathan's done a 91 second odd lap. So it is quite a long old lap, isn't it, around China? At the moment, Stead there is 0.3 of a second down on his personal best, so we can tell that because of the top right hand corner. We had like a little plus and minus there. Of course, if they're plus, that means they're over. And my goodness me, he's well off the track there, and he's visited the scenery and well, just checking on the fans, I suppose. So just giving him a show here in qualifying as he's going to have to abandon that, but he can have one more go, Stead, if he really wants to. I gotta say, this is gonna be very interesting. We got Striggy out on track. We got Games out on track as well. We got Brandon. We have got Toon, and also we've got Sam as well. So here comes Samuel coming down into the hairpin now, and let's go on board with Samuel, shall we? He is currently in the drop zone, so it's all or nothing for Sam now. That is it. This needs to be. I gotta say, he's really put the pressure on himself, and that's not a good start to the lap there. And RH44 is retired from the session now. I think he is safe. He should be safe. What about his teammate Samuel? And that's not his teammate at all, is it? He's in the Alfa Romeo, and LH44 is in the Ferrari. I was kind of close, even though the Alfa Romeo is burgundy and LH44 is in the red car. Of course, we can tell that because on the tower there, you see there's like little square colours there, and that just tells what team they're in as well. Apologies if all you guys know this. Hopefully we've got a lot of new fans there. This is joining us here today, and I hope you're enjoying this adventure. We're on board with something there, riding a bit of curve there, isn't he? Coming out of turn 6 then. I gotta say, I love this part of the track. Look at this. It's a long sweeping left-hander. Then it changes into right. Fantastic stuff. Dropping down the 5th gear. Tickling the throttle there. Playing with the throttle, Sam is. He loves it. And now we turn, and we've got a 90-degree left-hander. Another 90-degree left-hander. Oh, on a bit of the curve there, Sam is. Let's see what it's done in the second sector. Is a 52.822, and now then this is oh my goodness me, I gotta say that is definitely a bit of a rally in there. I think Richard Burns there would definitely be loving that kind of hacksaw in a way. I'm thinking in a Formula 1 car it's not really the quickest way to get around there, is it? Of course The F1 cars are sliding all the time, but you got to minimise that slide down. You got to keep it under control. And I think Sam was definitely having a very. I think he was enjoying it, but unfortunately, I don't think in terms of time this might not be getting through. But I could be wrong. I usually am wrong. We're on board Sam. Then he comes into the final section. He's aiming for 32.880. He hasn't done it. Sam hasn't. He crosses the line. He goes 16 fast in the end. Unfortunately, we've lost Brayley and Sam out of this qualifying session. Unfortunately, we had to lose 2 drivers, and those are the 2 drivers we have lost. Then we're on board with Toon Fan then, who is on a 32.8 at the moment. We got Brandon there. Stringy is coming through to complete a lap now. Stringy moving himself up to 6. Beautiful stuff there from Stringy. Here comes Brandon there, also coming through as well. Love this shot. I love this shot. Oh, Brandon, my goodness me. And he is the 4th man into 31 there. Fantastic stuff from Brandon. And he's jumped up into 4th position. Brilliant stuff then. On board Toon Fan then, as you can see, decelerating down the 2nd gear there. Fantastic. Accelerating away now. And this is the final corner. And he is into the pits. So Toon Fan coming into the pits. And that is it for qualifying. And that's the action done for Q1 of qualifying. We have lost Sam. We've lost Samuel. Unfortunately, he really did have his back against the wall, so to speak, didn't he? As unfortunately he only had 1 run. I wonder if Sam could definitely have improved on that time as well, because got to say it was a bit of an adventure. Sam's first lap wasn't it? He was hacksawing away, wasn't he? He had a good old power slide, didn't he? Coming out of turn 13. It was brilliant stuff. I got to say, I really enjoyed that. And if I was Sam, I'd see if I could get like a bit of a highlights package for that, and put that on my wallpaper. Anyway, but unfortunately though, Sam, that didn't improve his time. He is out qualifying, and so is Brayley out qualifying as well. So we've lost 2 drivers in the Q1 session. Now in the Q2, we got to repeat the process. Only this time we got to put our thinking caps on now, haven't we? We got to think about strategy, and we are aiming to lose We're aiming to lose 5 drivers in this second qualifying session. So 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th. If you end the 15-minute session in that bracket, in those positions, you will have to take an early bath. I really wish I did, because oh gosh, I'm a bit stale. But anyway, enough about my personal hygiene. Yeah. But yeah, if those guys do not get through into the top 10, you will be taking the walk of shame, so to speak. And unfortunately, we'll be watching the remainder of qualifying. Well, probably not, unfortunately, really. I gotta say, I quite enjoy watching these F1 cars fly around Shanghai, and that's exactly what we're all here to watch and witness at the moment. And so we got 15 minutes in. We're counting down. We're 20 seconds into this session now, and you can see then on the tower on the left hand side, we got the tires that are being changed then as well. Keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye, because it's not just going to be the soft tires. We did see a hard runner in Steve, didn't we, earlier on? But I think that was just to try and get his eye in. This is now about in terms of what tires you want to start the race on, isn't it? If you qualify on that tire, you must start on that race the race on that tire. So there's going to be a lot of babysitting on this opening lap and on the qualifying lap itself. You don't want any lockups, do you? You don't want to be too wild on the old steering wheel. So because you want the tires in a pristine condition, ready for the race, which is coming up imminently as well. Of course, that's the beauty about Friday Night Racing. We don't only just do qualifying and wait a day, we do qualifying and the race here all on the same night. Fantastic stuff as well. I remember we're simulcasting as well, so on Silver is on the other side as well. And keep an eye on Silver, of course. Noble is taking you through the action with there as well. So remember, the constructors' points from this race is also combined with the constructors' points in Silver as well. It's like a 3-man team, isn't it? So it's brilliant stuff. It is, isn't it? Of course, remember Formula 1 where they're talking about on 3-man teams, wasn't they? But Friday Night Racing does it a little differently. So Jonathan is out just getting himself warmed up and ready to go. And I think this is going to be an absolutely outstanding lap. And whilst it is, let me just quickly wet my whistle. Thank you. Anyway, yeah. Jonathan there coming out of turn 14 then. So here we go then. Let's go on board with the British Time Drive. This is the man who's on on the top of the standings. He's on top of the world, isn't he? In Friday Night Racing, we're going on board for him. Look at this then, and gotta say there's a lot of car park out there, but Jonathan's not interested in the car park, is it? He's going into turn one. Turn one tightens into turn two, and then we have a bit of a descent there. This is turn three, and you can see the car just wants to understeer. It just wants to go out into the gravel and have a holiday. Jonathan's not interested in that at all, and now he comes up to the kink at turn 4, and then where does he brake then? Wow, he brakes just out of the 100-meter board. That's fantastic braking. It's on the Toro Rosso. Accelerated away now. This is the second sector then, and let's see then what we can do in the second sector. Sorry, I got distracted by LH44 the comment there. Of course, go outside, John. And as you can see, the fuel light is flashing there, isn't it? You can see tickling with the throttle here. Jonathan is ending. Oh, getting a bit on the AstroTurf. Don't want to ride the AstroTurf too much there because get too much wheel spin and you'll be flying off into the barrier. He's gone purple on the second sector drive. Remember, this session is completely different to the first one now, isn't it? Because, of course, any times you did in the first session, like Jonathan did a 31.3, I think it was, or something like that. But that time is not important anymore because he's done the job. He has to do the job again in the second session, and you can see that he's on the long straight now. Where's he going to brake? Wow, did you see that? Those boards, those 150 and also 500-meter boards, 150-meter boards tells you, wow, basically the distance from the corner. That was 100 meters before the corner. Incredible stuff there. Wow, I got to say, I struggled to stop after 100 meters after doing a bit of jogging. My goodness me. Incredible stuff from Jonathan. And he is provisionally on the fastest time at the moment. And Toon is out on track at the moment. Let's see who else out on track. We've got the debutant KRC. Who is on the back straight as well. I think we've got a racing point just coming up to the line now. It is Games there who's gone second fastest. Oh, lovely purple helmet there. Beautiful. And he goes up in the second fastest, flying through turn one. Beautiful. I absolutely love it. Let's just take a look. Someone else I think was coming through as well. It was Brandon who's moved up into second position. Jonathan's time now 32.6. And remember, these are on the medium compound tires. These are the tires which you want to start a race on. Do you want to start a race on the soft tires? They would give you an absolute brilliant launch there, but in terms of what you in terms of race strategy, you do not want to be raced on those tires for much longer because they don't give you a very good operating window, do they? On board Toon Fan as he's coming down the back straight at the moment. We're just taking a look. Then we got a racing point coming through now. I think it is Meister. Meister goes fourth fastest there in the racing point, which is now going to be Aston Martin from 2021. And I got to say that's a much better. That's an absolutely much better name, isn't it? Night and day. Toon Fan there is a yellow flag in sector 2 and 3. We'll have a look to see what that is in a minute. Toon Fan goes up to fifth fastest. It was Games there who's having a much better time, a much better fist of it this time now as he's coming down the back straight in the racing point. Then we've also got Stead out on track as well. I think it was just guys letting each other through there. Very gentlemanly like, isn't it? Of course, I ain't going to up in the race then, so they're very polite. Oh, look at that! Incredible kick from the rear there from the racing point. Brilliant. And again, I think these guys just showed off their rallycross skills, haven't they? Brilliant stuff. Here comes Games coming up to fifth fast. Now he's on the 33 there. Good stuff there from Games. What about Stead then? Stead is coming down the back straight now as well. McLaren there is just crossing the line. I think that was Steve, who's now just gone on to a quick lap as well. So we're keeping on that McLaren's progress. We're keeping on Stead moment. DRS is enabled. It was enabled quite a long time there from Stead. He didn't push the button too rapidly there for the Haas driver. So as he comes, you can see, I'm not even sure what's going on there. Getting very excited on the old steering wheel there, isn't he? a lot of turret input there, very similar to a Felipe Massa. And Meister has retired from the session now as Stead goes into 7th position at the moment. LH44 is about to start us out then, so we again another yellow flag in the background there. Oh my goodness me, that's Games who's well off the track there. That is it, the second sector. I think it's the faster left-hander, isn't it? It is indeed. There it is indeed. And unfortunately, therefore, it is the right-hander actually. So Games is out of qualifying. There is no T cars in Formula 1 anymore. So you probably this stage of the race qualifying, he would have had 8 minutes to. Well, 8 minutes would have been very tight as well. But 8 minutes to try and get himself sorted out and get into the T car. That ain't going to happen anymore. So Games is out qualified, unfortunately. Even if he does stay in the top 10, he's in the top 10 at the moment, keeping on his name. But Yeah, game is out of this session. That's a huge blow for the Racing Point driver. It really is. And it was a big old smash that is ripped off the front left corner of the car. And and that is a real shame now. So here comes Steve then. Steve is coming to the line now. And Games is left for session now. Hopefully he'll come back in and get Steve going up in the full faster. But we've got a soft runner out there at the moment. We've had a lot of times posted on the medium compound tire line. Here comes Murphy. Just coming out the pits at the moment. We've got RH44 on the back straight in the Ferrari, and he is now going to look at watch this then again. I gotta say, I love the braking the braking points. It's incredible, isn't it? The yellow flag in one then is we've got McLaren just getting away as Steve who's just posted a cracking time of a 33.1 on the medium compound tyre as well. Then everyone's been on the medium tyres the most, so they're really all nailing their colours to the mast. So speed H44 32.5 there. There's a lot of track evolution in that, but still he's gone purple. Wow, and purple as well. And he almost took my head off as well. I had to duck. Here comes Nigel there as he's in the middle sector now as well. Echo, and let's see what Echo can do as well. He is on the he's just coming onto the back straight there in the second McLaren. His teammate is in 5th position around that is Steve in 5th. Echo looking absolutely splendid in the orange McLaren, and he is his fuel light is flashing there. He is going to be as light as a feather then, and he breaks down and into first gear. Look at that, feathering on the 14 miles an hour mark. Brilliant stuff there from Echo. Here he comes up to the line now. This is the last corner, flings it in, and where does he go then? And got Toro Rosso there having an adventure there. I think I was stringy, and Echo goes into full fast at the moment then. Remember, we're aiming to lose 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th and 15th in this session. Anyone in the top 10 will start on the target. They set their fastest time on as well, so keep an eye on that as well. Here comes Nigel in a very distinct green helmet and flying through turn 16 and whoa, and really hanging on to that ball, isn't he? Really, that was more like the Bronco ball rather than the Red Bull there. But he hanged on to it well. He's moved himself up into 8th position there. Good stuff. And here comes Murphy and also Exile as well. And Exile has had he's come a cropper somewhere. He's on the hard tires. Here's Murphy. Whoa, he's gone purple in the first sector. We can tell that because, well, you need to explain what purple is, really, should I? Of course, if the track map on the on your right hand side, then if it goes purple there in any stage of the map, that means they've gone fastest in that sector. Of course, if they go green, that means that is the personal best. Of course, red means that they've invalidated time. Oh, it's not a very good time. And yellow, and of course, and you can see, look at that, he's got purple there. See what the number 2 is? He's purple again there. Murphy there taking a couple of bites of the cherry there to get round. Now then, as he comes onto the back straight as well, we've got yellow flags on this back straight, and I don't think Murphy's going to be too concerned by that because I think it's behind him. It is behind him as well, and DRS is coming out. Look, watch his hand. Look at that. There's his thumb there, pushing on the DRS button, and he was straight on it straight away. He knew exactly where to go. Remember, these guys have been practicing, haven't they? Practicing this circuit. And of course, round 5 here in China. I think it's the first time ever that China's been round 5 in a Formula 1 calendar, hasn't it? It's been round 3, it's been round 4. I think it's been round 2 as well. It's even been round 19 and 17, I think. But oh, Murphy goes fastest there. Of course, he has gone triple purple around there. And so he lit up the track map beautifully well. Exile is continuing on with his quest to have a go on the hard compound tyre. He's got 4.5 minutes to go, and here he goes. This is going to be a proper run now, I think, for Exile. Grillsy in the second. Williams is just on a warm-up lap at the moment, and you can see those yellow flags there in sector 1, and I think it's just someone coming out of the pits. Echo's retired from the session. He is in 5th position at the moment. He is just in he's in there. Is he going to be able to stay there? Because track evolution around any circuit can be quite steep. Toon is gone. I think Toon is out qualifying, so we have lost 2 drivers. We've lost Games and Toon have gone from this session already, and that's a big blow. So we got, who else are we going to lose in this session then? Well, it's going to be very tight, isn't it? I got to say, anyone who is in the 33s might be feeling a bit vulnerable. Daniel Ricciardo loves him vulnerable, doesn't he? But of course, there's no Ricciardo in this pack, is there? It's all about the Friday night racing, is it? And Exile has gone 2 seconds faster than his previous best in the second sector. These hard tires are the most durablest, so you can just go round and round and round on these tires. I think these tires could last forever and a day around China. Don't quote me on that though. And he comes up to the DRS line as well, and so you can see then he is hitting full speed. Then look at that, 208 miles an hour, 209. There, that was an incredible amount of speed there, and he's dropping down there right down to 30 miles an hour. That was incredible deceleration there, and now then as he flies through the final sector, then final corner, I should say, that right in the rumble strip there, and he comes up to the line, and Exile is only 13 fast at the moment. I wonder how much fuel his light is flashing then. Exile is definitely going to be on the cusp. What about Grillsy then? He is in the second sector and flying through the second sector. I got to say, these corners, these long corners do damage the tires, don't they? I did say the hard tires do last forever and a day around here. If anyone remembers the 2012 Chinese Grand Prix, well, it was anything but, wasn't it? That day the tires being eaten up, wasn't it? Kevin Raikkonen, don't tell Kevin Raikkonen about that, was they? Or remind him, because he was doing a very good job there, but unfortunately he dropped like a stone towards the end there, didn't he? I think he dropped outside the points when he was running his highest second or third. Grillsy on the back straight, and of course I love these over the shoulder shots, isn't it? Of course these used to be absolutely beautiful camera angles, didn't they? Of course before the halos came in, but nonetheless it's incredible, isn't it, to see how much work they're doing on the steering wheels as well, isn't it? Of course the unique feature of the Williams there, isn't it? Of course it's the only car that doesn't have the screen, doesn't have the control screen on the steering wheel, isn't it? And that is, according to the Williams team, that is actually to make the steering wheels lighter. Grillsy is 13 fast at the moment. Both Williamses are committing quite hard to the hard tires there. Here comes Stead, that he's coming on the back straight. So I've got yellow flags there fluttering in front of us. And as we're going on the back straight then, so while Stead is just finishing off this lap, then again, then I think he's invalidated his time, so he's just doing a bit of harvesting then, and he's going to go around again then. Meister is in the pits, so Meister and Nigel are in the pits, and they're fairly happy at their times. I'll be a bit nervous if I was there, but as Exile's in the pits as well. Grillsy is still out there. Is he trying to improve? No yet. So I think this could be the end of qualifying then, as both with it. Well, I'm wondering how much Grillsy's got no fuel left, but I'm wondering if he's got one more run in possibly. Here's Stead. He's got one more run in. He charges into turn one there. And you can see, look at the understeer on that Haas there. It's not just the Haas, it's every car. The car just wants to go straight. It just wants to go straight on, doesn't it? But of course, Stead is not having any of that, is he? LH44, I've just matched my Q1 time, and that was on softs. So yeah, LH44, I gotta say that was a monster lap, wasn't it, for LH44? Murphy there just also going a 10th quicker as well. Steve Brown, yes, Ginge, nice to see you sober and chirpy. I'm always chirpy, never always sober. We're on board Stead then, and he is in the middle sector now then, in the Haas, and car 38 then. Of course, Haas released their new car, didn't they, yesterday? It's a bit of an evolution on their 2018 car release. I got to say, I like the front though. The front looks pretty monstrous, doesn't it? I really do like the front there of the Haas. But yeah, oh, look at that! And you can see that the power coming off the rear axle when he stamped on that loud pedal. The back end wants to overtake the front there, but Stead was having none of it. Good car control from Stead, and he is on his way. But he's unfortunately he hasn't got DRS on, so I think this qualifying session is done and dusted. So we have lost in this qualifying session. We've lost Games, who's out of qualifying. Unfortunately, had a bigger smasher. Hopefully, comes back in the session soon. We've also lost Toon Fan as well. Grillsy and Exile will be sharing the 7th row in the Williams. They're both on the hard tires. I think they're really desperate to go on the hard tires, weren't they? They didn't want to stay out there. They didn't want to go nowhere near the medium tire. And we got Stead as well, who was on a very decent run, was it? Until it went very much a rallycross test there. Peter Sober would have actually been delighted with that kind of car control there. Unfortunately, in Formula 1, it's got to be more neat and tighter than that, doesn't it? And unfortunately for Stead, I think he felt as well that he wasn't going to improve his time now then. So those are 5 drivers that we have lost then. Going into Q3, we have Murphy, who's top of the timesheets at the moment, who's second in the championship. LH44, as we mentioned in the comments there, maxes time on the medium tires he did on the soft side. So medium tires is going very well for LH44. That's going to pay dividends later on in the race, isn't it? Jonathan Cox, the championship leader, in 4th position. Brandon 5th. Echo in 6th position. KRC is 7th position. 8th position is Steve. 9th position is 8th position is Stringy, 9th position is Nigel, and 10th position is Navgomeister. So unfortunately we have lost games at Toon, Grills the Exile instead. Notice not a single red tyre in sight here. Then no one's even remotely interested in those soft compound tyres, is it? It must be an absolutely abysmal race tyre. It really is. So no one didn't even want to fancy the launch there. Of course, I say that this track is one of the better races for overtaking, isn't it? There was a start the other day, and I think that the Chinese Grand Prix in 2016 had only 9 overtakes less or something like that than the whole of the 96 season, which is absolutely outstanding, isn't it? That's incredible. I got to say, I'm a bit of a traditionalist. I do love an old school F1, but we also love a good overtake as well. And I think so with the RS coming in, it has kind of put a band-aid on what the problem is, really, isn't it? It's the aerodynamics, isn't it, that causes so much dirty air, which does cause a bit of difficulty with overtaking, but. Yeah, I do love the old cars. 97 cars are absolutely beautiful. They really are. They're so skinny, aren't they? And I wish I was skinny. They're so skinny and slick, isn't it? And they're incredible. So wide as well, aren't they? So low down, it's incredible. So we are now. So these are the 9 men who'll be going for the top for pole position, I should say, in Friday Night Racing. Of course, a part of the RRC franchise. And here comes Murphy there coming out of the pits. Then remember, Murphy is pretty good at the old one lap qualifier, isn't he? I might describe him as a Yarno Trillius, but I think that's a bit harsh, isn't it? Because I think Murphy's also a good racer as well, isn't he? He's not just a one lap specialist. Well, Trilly, I gotta say, I think Trilly was. He just seemed to get lost in races, didn't he? Yarder Trilly did. And it was quite evident when he was dropped at the end of 2004, wasn't it? After he won the Monaco Grand Prix that year as well, didn't he? After the shenanigans going on with Montoya and Schumacher in the tunnel. But yeah, it's unfortunate for Trilly there. Same with Fisichella, really, as I'm going on the rads, but Italian drivers down. And Fisichella, another driver that was tit for greatness, wasn't he? Especially that 97 season with Jordan. He had a fantastic 97 season, didn't he? Really good stuff there. He was tipped for absolute greatness there. Just never come to his one. And then a certain Spaniard called Fernando Alonso kind of really eclipsed him on the on a Renault's championship year in 2005. Enough about that. Let's get back on with the racing, shall we then? As we're just watching Jonathan saying my lap was a bit scrappy but happy overall. As Brown was saying, welcome to the club, and a shout out to Echo for me. Hello, Echo. As I'm going to be honest, my nephew's got a new phone, and my goodness me, it sounds like there's an earthquake in this house every time someone rings him. Blimey, yeah. So yeah, I got a bit scared there. Anyway. Because the elements is going to get very wet and wild over the weekend. Apparently there's a bit of a storm coming, isn't there? There's going to be a storm coming in the next 9 minutes or so. We're going to find out now what kind of storm is Jonathan brewing up as he comes across the line. The timing beam, or the timing line, I should say, of course, is a lot further on than the start line. So the finish line is a different place than the start line, and I think that is because of the FIA, where the FIA garages or something like that, just in case it's a dead heat or something. Apparently, anyway. No, I just heard it one time in a free practice, and you know, if whatever I hear in the free practice sessions, I kind of believe it. So yeah, you learn a lot in the Formula 1 free practice sessions, I must admit. Yeah, so Ted Pravix says, I got to say, a world of knowledge, and he's one of my favourite pundits. I love him. Anyway, Jonathan Cox said is coming into the second set tonight. I've got to say, the back end was feeling quite light there, wasn't it, on the old rear, and it's great that all of you are now starting to join us. You're all getting it ready, and all anticipation is starting to build, isn't it, for this gold Friday night racing, isn't it? And the battle between Murphy, between Jonathan Cox as well, and do not count out any of these other men, any of these other 7 men as well. What about the debutant? KRC, he's had a fantastic debut as well. Don't forget Nigel as well. Nigel does have some speed as well. We've got Echo in there as well. I've got to say, Echo, a very fine race driver as well. He's just like he just keeps coming at you, doesn't he? He really does. He's very consistent, scarily consistent as well. Brandon as well, he can fly on his day. There's so many people out here as well. Remember Steve there, of course. I've seen Steve on a couple of occasions in other leagues as well. He's a very good hand behind the wheel as well. All these drivers are absolutely beautiful, absolutely cracking stuff. And don't forget Stringy as well, Jonathan's teammate. And Stringy, when he gets going, he is also Mr. Consistent as well. Jonathan's gone fastest. He's done a 30.9 there whilst I've been yapping away. Jonathan has had an absolutely stupendous lap out there. That is 4/10 of a second quicker than his championship rival Murphy. fantastic stuff. KRC is gone full fast in the second Mercedes, and we've got a Ferrari out on track. Then we got a Racing Point. I think it's not a Racing Point, it's a Haas. I need to get me eyes checked. Brandon has gone up in the third fastest, I should say, and we got a couple of both Mercedes are just slowed down. We've also got Steve there on the back straight then, as just in front of us is Stringer there as he's preparing himself. He's slightly out of sync in the second Toro Rosso. I think Toro Rosso once again getting both cars in the Q3. Fantastic effort there. We've also got both Mercedes in there as well. Dave, as I said, KRC is fantastic, isn't he? Steve has gone in 6th position. But Stringy, LH44 is on the back straight. Nigel is also coming on the back straight. So let's keep an eye on what LH is doing. Accelerator's not there as well. He's run out of deployment then, so of course then he's a bit short there at the deployment line there, isn't he? So he is going to have, it's not going to have much output there from the electric recovery system, so it's all about the engine, and he goes 7 faster. I think he and look at that, 2 thousandths of a second separates Stephen LH44 there. How do you separate that? Well, you can't. I don't think, if it's a naked eye, you wouldn't be able to separate them. It's incredible, isn't it? By 3 10 thousandths there. That's what I meant to say. Nigel's going 6th fastest at the moment then on a 31.8 there. So he's slotted himself in 6th position in between the Mercedes and the McLaren. On board with Stringy then. Of course, he's slightly out of sync at the moment, Stringy is, because I think he's just... I think he just wanted to clear a track there. Unfortunately, though, he will have some traffic on this back straight, and it's the Haas there, Brandon there, just getting out of the way there. Good stuff indeed. Then is he going to catch his teammate? His teammate is so right there, Jonathan. Very slow in that there from Jonathan, isn't it? He is just, I think he is so light on fuel. He knows how to judge it, doesn't he? And that's why he's coming back to the pits. He was the first man out there, first one to set a time. He's in the he's the only one to the 30 at the moment. Incredible stuff there. The high ends of the 30. Oh, and Stringy there had to correct the car, didn't he? He cuts across the line. He goes 7 fastest in the Toro Rosso. Good stuff from Stringy, and he is in 7th position at the moment on the 4th row of the grid. So that's round 1 done. So if you guys like that, we've got one more round to go, haven't we then? Well, depending on how many tyres are left, of course. In Q3, you do get an extra set of boots, an extra set of soft tyres to encourage teams to go out there. Of course, teams like back in the... back when this qualifying session first started, teams like Haas, Toro Rosso, McLaren, and all the midfield runners there who scraped through into Q3 used to then had to sit it out Q3 because they had no tyres left there. So I think that's an absolutely splendid rule, and it's really encourages teams to go out there and just give it a good old bash there as well. And that's what I love about this, because now we're having a bit of a lull at the moment. Then so catch your breath, everyone. I hope you're enjoying your fish and chips wherever you are. I certainly have. That's why I'm in a happy mood, and that's also why I've lost my voice as well. And now then we're as Nigel is in the pits. LH44, John, go outside. So I think LH44 is trying to intrigue John outside. I'm not sure why. So we'll leave that one there for now, because yes, I think he wants to just distract Jonathan, doesn't he? Because he's got 4/10 of a second advantage over Murphy, who is second. And so that is a pretty big margin there, isn't it, in league racing? This season, though, Jonathan is doing a very good job there. I think Murphy's did a cracking job as well. I say it every race I see Murphy. I think that he's going to be concerned, actually, because he might think I have a crush on him. Anyway, enough about that. But Murphy, he has an absolutely incredible. He's incredible in this 2019 game, hasn't he? He just gets quicker and quicker, doesn't he? It's really good stuff indeed. Into the pits comes Stringy, and he has dropped down to 80 kilometers an hour then, and he is coming into the pits now then. So everyone's in the pits then, so that's it. No one is out on track. Well, we've got just under 4 minutes to go. And I gotta say, it's a lovely pit lane, isn't it? But I'd rather see cars out on track. I don't want to. I do admire the pit garages, all that kind of stuff. It's incredible, isn't it? All this equipment that gets carted all over the world. It really is. 22 races this season. Well, it's 21 at the moment, isn't it? With the Chinese Grand Prix under threat from that awful virus going around. But 21 races is an incredible lot, isn't it? They were talking about going up to 25, wasn't they? That's a bit scary. Remember, next season, I'm looking forward to the next F1 2020. We got to go to Vietnam in the Dutch Grand Prix, aren't we? That's going to be brilliant, isn't it? I'm looking forward to the Vietnam Grand Prix. I'm a bit sinister. I do enjoy the Azerbaijan Grand Prix on this game, because it produced absolutely chaotic racing. Same with Monaco as well. I love watching Monaco because it's an absolutely incredible watch from from the spectator's point of view, I gotta say, from my when I raced in Monaco, it was an absolute nightmare. I drove into someone and all kinds of stuff. Banned for life. That's why I'm up here. Echo there is just coming out of sector 1 then, so he's just getting what he's doing at the moment. It looks like there's a bit of fun there, just getting the wheel left and right there. He's not checking the steering. He is just getting those tires prepared and ready to go. He needs to get them into the optimal window, and then we'll also be going as well then. As we're on board then with Echo, as he is just coming onto the back straight as well. Stephen Brown is wearing a mask for this race then. Okay. So Echo there just coming out of turn 13 then, and he's just wheeling the steering wheel away as well. I've got to say, I wish I wore a cap to it on this race, to be honest, because I've got to say, I'm sweating already, and we haven't even got into the race yet. So this is going to be interesting, isn't it? I got to say, guys, from a salvage point of view, I kind of hope it's not an action-packed race, is it? I have no doubt it will be, though, because it always is around China, isn't it? Here we go, then. And Echo there is coming into he didn't really compromise the exit there, turn Echo there, but I'm wondering if he has found the sweet spot to have a slower part to the lap there that will really help him long term now. Murphy has just come out of the pits there as well. Murphy has left it very late. He's going to have to get on with this, isn't he? He's only got a minute and a half to get around the track. Remember, the fastest time around here is at 1:30, and so Jonathan also took my charge as well, didn't he? Because I said 90-second lap around here would be absolutely spectacular. Well, it really is, isn't it? Echo coming out of first sector. He's gone purple in the first sector. Echo has. I'm not sure if I believe the track or not, but I do believe in Echo, and I think that's a fantastic start to the lap. Then car 24 then, and he is in the second sector there as well. Of course, that corner there, it always reminds you of when Maldonado just randomly drove off the circuit because he was sorting out something on his steering wheel. Now Echo there in the second sector. What is he doing? Let's take a look at the times there. He's 7/10 of a second down. Echo is in the second sector. I'm wondering if he is doing a bit of harvesting then, so we'll keep an eye on what Echo does. Yellow flag in free. It's a Ferrari on the back straight. They're just trying to get himself some harvest going, I think. We're keeping an eye on what Brandon does in car 22. I think Brandon might be the first man to set a competitive time in this second run of qualifying. And he has gone fastest in Q2. In the second sector, I should say. My goodness me. So he has gone fastest in the second sector of the Chinese Grand Prix. And so Murphy there should be alright there. He's in the hairpin now, and he's got a couple of seconds remaining there. So Murphy's done absolutely splendidly, hasn't he? Into the pits comes Echo. Is in the pits, so that's a shame for Echo there. He didn't get a good second attempt there, which is absolutely disappointing there from Echo, because I was wondering if he could have maybe snuck up in the third position, maybe even on the front row there. I think it was definitely there for Echo. We have also Nigel has not made it across the line, I don't think, and Brandon has improved this time. He's just a whisker away from Murphy there in the third position. Brandon is going up to third then. Here comes the debutant. He's a 10th of a second up there. We've got Street coming on the back straight. We have Steve already on the back straight. RH44 out there as well then. So we're going to stay on board with Steve then, who is in the McLaren now. Lovely over the show shot. You can see, look at him deactivating the DRS and press the button there. The rear wing closed there for Steve then into the final corner as well. He's run out deployment. Is this going to be enough then? Where is he aiming for? He's done it. He can get, if he gets 200 a second, he's done more than that. That's an incredible time. 5/10 of a second he has found there for the McLaren driver, and that is brilliant stuff. And Stringer comes onto the line. He goes fifth fastest. My goodness me, they're coming through hot, and they're coming through so fast now. KRC has gone up into fifth position as well. Brilliant stuff. What about RH44 then? He was burning rubber down the back straight. Let's see what he can do in the final sector then. Now he comes through the turn 16 there as well, grinding a bit of the AstroTurf. Let's see what he can do. He goes 8th fastest in the end. Now it's between Jonathan and Murphy. What is Murphy doing then as he comes into the final stage of this lap now? He's got to find 4/10 of a second. We said Steve find 5/10 of a second. He comes over to the line. Is it? It's not enough, John. Look how close it is. Incredible. Jonathan goes pole position then for the Chinese Grand Prix here on Friday night racing. He extended his advantage there. Murphy had a monstrous lap towards the end there, but in the end, Jonathan extended his advantage, and he is on he's on pole position there, but only a 10th of a second. Murphy, an incredible amount of time there he gained there. The top two in the championship are also the top two on the grid then for the race then. Steve has just commented, yes, and why wouldn't he gain 5/10 of a second on that lap. That was an incredible time there from Steve. He is now on the second row of the grid there in the McLaren. Brandon in 4th position, KRC is in 5th position, Stringy in 6th. Echo didn't get a time in, otherwise I think he would have been higher up the grid as well. LH44 in 8th, and Nigel, it looks like he mistimed his run there, and he's unfortunately didn't get a second time in. And as Steve said at the start of that lap was not very good too. Number 1 McLaren driver. Oh, that's a bit. We got a bit of. We got a bit of controversy in the old comment section. I love it. Well, he's definitely the number 1 McLaren driver on the grid, isn't he? Absolutely splendid job as well there from Steve there. I've got to say, Grizz left the session there. 5/10 of a second was an absolutely incredible time to make up. Same with Murphy as well. Murphy gained a huge chunk of time as well. Right, we're getting ready for the race now, and whilst the drivers are getting themselves sorted, John Fidder's also commented great lap as well. And you can see then the drivers saying, this is the calm before the storm, everyone. So this is a good time to get some food and get a drink. That's what I'm getting a drink now. And we'll be going racing in just a few moments then. That's the quietest I've ever drank. I really need to learn how to mute my mic. Anyway, yeah, professionalism and all that. Yep, that's completely out the window. Anyway, enough about that. Navga Meister's my internet just turned off there. Hopefully he's back in. Otherwise, that's going to be a huge shame, isn't it? Because we want to see, and look at that, we got a couple of gaps on the grid here, haven't we? As they come through then to start this race then. You can see then, let's just take a look to see what the detail is and who is starting on what tires. We got some medium and hard tires out there. There's no soft tires at all anywhere to be seen on the grid then. We got a hard tire for Exile then, so he is really happy with those hard tires, isn't he? And also a hard tire for Ang as well then in the Ferrari then. As you can see, my pronunciation of names is just absolutely appalling, so I apologise to anyone who I mispronounced their name. I just struggle. Anyway, Jonathan then is on pole position, an absolutely cracking lap there from Jonathan. As he said, a great lap. It really was, wasn't it? Murphy alongside him. That is a juicy row one, isn't it? That is where you want to line them up. The 2 championship protagonists are on the front row here in this Chinese Grand Prix in round 5. We got Steve Ferris. He was absolutely loving that lap, and why wouldn't he? That was an incredible bit of driving there from Steve. Brilliant stuff. Brandon in 4th position in the Haas. KRC is in 5th position in the Mercedes. I got to say, that's an incredible debut on there from KRC. Oh, hats off to him as well. If I had a hat, I would dock it. Stringy in 6th position there. Echo in 7th position. 8th position is LH44. 9th position is Nigel in the Red Bull there. I was going to say Toro also. 10th position is Toon Van. Well, he's 11th, but he is because we've lost Navga Meister. Hopefully he comes back in a minute. XR in a 13th position, but he will also be moving up 2 positions as well, with Stead in 14th position, Sam in 15th position, Brayley in 16th position, and also Ang is in 18th position there. And I completely got those grid positions absolutely. Oh my goodness me, what is occurring in the background there? That is an Alfa Romeo there who's just a Sam who is I'm not sure what happened there, but wow. I think he was just testing the sturdiness of that nose cone on the Alfa Romeo, and I gotta say that that's pretty good workmanship, isn't it, from the Swiss Alps there? Brilliant stuff there from Peter Sauber, the Sauber team. I don't think it's Peter Sauber anymore, is it? But I do love Peter Sauber. Cracking guy. I've never met him though, but he seems like a good guy, doesn't he? Anyway then, 28 laps around this Chinese Grand Prix. We are ready to get racing then on Friday night racing, and this is what we all come to see then. This is what we love, isn't it? A bit of action there around China on a Friday night as well. Where else would you want to be? I certainly wouldn't want to be anywhere else. So we're now getting ready for this race then itself. As we are now just waiting for the lights, and those 5 magical lights, when they go out, they will be released, and we'll be racing around Shanghai. There they are, and here we go then. 4, 5. There's a pause, and we are go. go. And it's, a lot of wheel spin there. Is Jonathan is away well. So is Murphy. So is Steve. We got a couple of positions already. Stringy is up a couple of positions. They come in to fly into turn one. And let's see how they all get around that. They're all fine. They're giving each other space. That's what we like to see in a turn one. No Danny Fiat kind of escort. But oh goodness me, it's getting a bit of traffic. Oh my goodness, that's free abreast then. Oh, that's a McLaren. And I think it's Echo there. Who's whoa, and there's a Ferrari also in the background there of Agner as they come down into. Oh my goodness me, that Ferrari is flying in there. That's, oh my goodness me. Ang there is just thrown caution to the wind there, and it came from absolutely nowhere. And there's a very twitchy tune there as I think he was. Oh my goodness, we got Sam does contact. Exile and Sam have made huge contact. Damage, and Stead is also dropping down the order as well. Oh no, and Sam and Exile have come together, come to blows, and oh dear me, and now he's also made contact with Stead as well. Not the finest to start for Grand Prix here in Shanghai. There is all sorts of drama going on as they come down the back straight. Look at that, Jonathan, Murphy, Steve, Striggy, Brandon, KRC, Nigel, LH44. It's an incredible look at these cars, and look at them, they're slipstreaming it. There's no DRS yet, and they break down there as Jonathan has got a good advantage already. Up the inside is Nigel, but KRC, I can't even say his name. Has just gone wide there. Nigel is having a 6th position. KRC is having 7th position. Then RH44. Oh, and RH44 get a swap on there. Look at that in the back. That's a McLaren. That's Echo. And Ang there goes outside the side. Ang there's got a lot. Has he got damage there? Because I'd be surprised if he didn't. Because he was out of absolutely nowhere. As Mark has just said, good is an understatement there. So I think Mark's also had issues as well. So we've lost a couple of drivers already. Sam is out of this race as well. Then Exile's in the pits. I got a bit messy there between Sam, Ual, and Exile. Jonathan leads. Second is Murphy. Stevens in 3rd position. We got Stringy in 4th. Brandon in 5th position. Then after that, we got a bit of a train behind Brandon. It's his version of the trolley train. And look at them. They're all conga lining behind him. Brilliant stuff here. And as Nigel there is just following the wheel tracks of Brandon. Lovely shot here from the side pod of the Red Bull driver that you can see. We'll show you some good shots of the understeer in a bit, and how much the dirty air really affects the cars behind as well. It doesn't just affect the cars and keeping close behind, it also affects the tires as well. And you can see now they're coming onto the back straight as well. There's no DRS yet. We've got to wait for the 3rd lap. And then then we'll have then the gloves. Oh my goodness me. Nigel there is using all the track and then some. As Nigel's completely thrown me off my game there. I was struggling to find what I wanted. We want some tyre strategy. There they are on the left-hand side. Here comes KRC. Sam is at the session. KRC is up the inside. And oh my goodness me, he's giving him a little nuts there. No damage there. Good stuff as well. Brady has got by Ang as well. As they come through wide. Goodness me, they're taking off the camera there as they fly up into the start-finish straight and complete another lap there. DRS has now been enabled, and a lot of drivers will be happy with that there. Of course, it makes well, it certainly makes the overtaking slightly more easier, doesn't it? But of course, you still have to have a good position as well. And as Mark has just said, Anger just smashed into Exile and caused wing damage. Yeah, it was a bit. Oh my goodness, what happened there? Toon there just well, I gotta say that was futuristic there from Toon, but I think that's damage string. LH44's Ferrari. There's a lot of end plate there. Toon there is all over the show. We're on board there with a Toon there. I'm wondering there if he needs to put 50p pence there into the meter there for his internet, but that has unfortunately caused problems there for LH44 there, so that's a shame there. But hopefully, yeah, I think it was anyway, unless I'm seeing things. But now we're on board with LH44. He's going to have a lot of understeer now in that Ferrari, isn't he? And we're on board with the Ferrari driver now, LH44 then, who's damaged the front wing there. As now we're coming down the back straight then. So at the moment we have got Steve, who is now there's a 2-second deficit between Steve and Murphy. Murphy and Jonathan, I wouldn't say have checked out just yet, but they're not far away from having a very good window where they can cover off any undercuts and overcuts that might happen in here. I think it'll be an undercut more than an overcut though. So it's because I just think it's just the nature of the track around here. And anyway, then as they come through then to complete 3rd lap around China. And to be honest, I'm taking this opportunity to have a breath because I think this is going to be. Oh, and we got who we got in the pits. It's a Ferrari in the pits, and LH44 is coming in the pits, and And unfortunately, that's the damage. You got yellow flag at the... Who's that? That's Anger, who's visiting the scenery there. And I got to say, the most expensive lawnmower in the world there, as he's just cutting the bit of the grass. And, oh, Exo, they're flying by as well. Both Ferraris are near the back of the field at the moment. It's not looking too good at the moment, is it, for both Ferraris? But remember, the race is anything can happen in the race. And remember, safety cars on this game have been patched. So, and I gotta say, I love it. So, we could see a couple of safety cars thrown in the mix as well. I gotta say, there's a lovely saying: never give up. And you certainly shouldn't give up, especially in racing now, because anything can happen, and it usually does. And a safety car around here is, well, I wouldn't say it's the highest around all the tracks, but the barriers are certainly quite close together, especially turn 16. If you get that wrong, a bit of wheel spin on the AstroTurf and you'll be having a big old Giovinazzi kind of incident, so you don't want that at all, do you? And then we're on board there with Nigel, who is currently in that 6th position. Look at that, McLaren, Toro Rosso, then we got a Haas, and then we have Nigel ourselves. That's an incredible scenery there. It's not incredible for Nigel though, is it? He wants to get by him. He had DRS there, and he's coming down the back straight. The debutant KRC is doing a good job. I gotta say, he's doing a splendid job, isn't he? He is looking right at home in that Mercedes. Fantastic stuff. And I think he's just keeping tabs at the moment, just staying back, just in case there's any shenanigans going on. Oh, look at this. I love this camera shot. Wow, look at them all. They're taking off our noses here. It's incredible stuff, man. As they come over the grid hatches there to complete another lap, and DRS is on the back straight. I gotta say, the easiest overtaking maneuver is probably down into the hairpin of 13, but you've got to say, but I would say that a good old lunge up the inside as well. Oh, I shouldn't say, well, you can have a lunge up there as well. Of course, as long as it's a controlled lunge, a lunge is good, I'd say. As Stringy there coming out of the first couple of corners, I'm on board Stringy there in the moment. This is the battle on track, which I am which I think we should all be most interested in, which we really should be, because look at the talent here. We've got Steve, we've got Stringy, we've got Brandon, and we've got Nigel as well. And of course, KRC, he could be the star of the future as well, because in his first race, he's 7th position there, and he's around some esteemed company, isn't he, in this race? Of course, he's got Toon Fan just behind him, and Echo as well. We got Braley as well, and he is right in front of all those drivers, and he's doing a good job there at the moment, and very well done indeed. I think to him, he probably doesn't make one difference at all about all that, but about what I said there. But I think I was just highlighting how is that Brandon there having a couple of having some problems there, didn't he? With understeer, and he's got off the track. Now this is really going to help Nigel. Nigel's going to stay on the racing line. Brandon is going defensive. He's gone on the inside. Nigel's got the racing line. But now he's slipstreaming in. Look at him. He's almost pushing him. Nigel comes out of slipstream up the inside. That was a mistake there from Brandon there. But Brandon's going to go up and under. Fantastic racing on board with the Haas driver. And Nigel is through it up into 5th position. Brilliant stuff. Yes, and now don't forget the debutant KRC. Then, as I was saying before, he's in a steam company, isn't he? I think he's doing a cracking job there. Really is. It's brilliant stuff there from KRC. Fantastic. I'll just try to highlight how well he's doing against these really good drivers. It really is, isn't it? Which I said probably the worst way, but oh well. So coming out of the first sector, this is still the battle. Stephen is now starting to feel a bit more under pressure. We've got Anger and Exile there, and his Exile has dropped down into a 14th position at the moment. Exile, remember, is quite up in the championship. I think he's 3rd or 4th, isn't he? I would consult my phone, but my phone is if I take the stream off, I struggle to get back on. Technology, eh? Oh gosh, where's my nephew when I need him? Anyway, back on board with KRC in the Mercedes. He's now starting to get interested. Brandon made a mistake coming out of turn 13, didn't he? And because he made a mistake there, it just allowed Nigel there to well, didn't breeze by him, did he? But he's certainly got him into a position there to overtake there. A fantastic. It was definitely very much the ultimate opportunity. Lovely shot here. Look at that. That's a beautiful shot of the bank in there, isn't it? Remember about the banking over in the Dutch Grand Prix as well. That's quite going to be extreme, isn't it? I'm looking forward to that as well. Of course, so that shot just reminded me of the Dutch banking for some unknown reason. It probably doesn't look anything like it as well. I've got to say thank you all for joining us. Oh, come on a bit, because Toon Fan has dropped down into 9th position then. Exile? No, Echo Echo has moved up into 8th position there. I've just merged their names together, haven't I? Oh, look at this. Nigel is now all over the back of the his sister team in terms of the Toro Rosso, which will be Alpha Tauri next season. So another name change. This took me a very long time to get Racing Point. Oh, he's going in the inside of Stringy there. Not quite. Stringy there. Howler's line there. He's not going to get frightened off the track, is he, Stringy? And doing a fantastic job as well. And oh my goodness me, now this is getting very intense. He's on the outside. Steve's on the inside, but oh my goodness, he's got one. Where's Nigel? He's on the inside. Is he going to give enough for him? He has given enough for him. That's more. That's a car whip. Stringy's going to take. Oh, and a bit of a nudge. Oh no, Stringy's off. Stringy's off. He's half spun, and somehow the Haas of Brandon just about avoids him. My goodness me, he's coming back on the track now. He's got to be careful though, because of they're flying around that corner at a reasonable knots then as well. So unfortunately for Stringy then, they was getting there was a bit of banging wheels there, wasn't it? But unfortunately Stringy came off the worst side, didn't they? So they come around the banked corner once again. 86 then of the McLaren there. Still got the advantage for Nigel is steadily making his way through the field, isn't he? Look, there are the two leaders there. They're just putting away. Well, Murphy has still got a 1.4 second deficit over Jonathan at the moment. Nigel is gaining. Look at him, he's going to go on the inside. No, because Steve is covering it. So he's on the outside then, Nigel. They come down to there, but now he's going to go for the switcheroo. Oh, beautiful textbook stuff there from Nigel. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And he is now over the third position, Nigel has said. So Nigel's up to third. Steve dropping down to fourth position. Brandon has gone wide then. Here comes K. Oh, and into the pits comes Toon. It's KRC is going on the outside. And Steve's back on the inside. Oh, no, he's on the outside, I should say. He's gone back on the outside. Look at him, he's going to go right. He's going to be able to hold his line. No, not quite. Nigel get through. Toon is oh no! And Steve there is trying to go on the inside there. And, oh, he's in a very difficult position there. And unfortunately was just trying to recover. Steve is out of the Chinese Grand Prix. What a shame. He was on a fantastic race as well. His teammate Echo is in the pits, and what a shame there from Steve there, because he was having a fantastic race. KRC. Oh, fantastic! He's up into fourth position. Brilliant stuff there from KRC. Then really good stuff indeed. Nigel there is in third position. KRC in fourth position. Brandon in fifth. Sorry, we missed that overtake between Brandon and KRC. And KRC is in fourth position. I said that a couple of times, didn't I? I need to underline it. Stringy in sixth position in the Toro. So we got Brayley, who's in an incredible seventh position there. So he is keeping a calm head, isn't he? And then the McLaren, there's yellow flags there, and that's an Alfa Romeo, I think, isn't it? It's quite slow. I'm not sure what's going on there. No, it's not. I'm just oh, and the Echo there going off the track there. Yeah, it's an Alfa Romeo. I think it's Toon's Ghost. That's what it is. Just trying to make it. What Toon's Ghost there is not doing a very good job there of parking the car. So yeah, that's so I think well done AI, doing a good job as always. Anyway, lap 9 out of 28 then. So we're going on a bit of a leading period now then. So we've got a couple of gaps there floating out. Let's take stock of what is going on in this absolutely incredible Chinese Grand Prix. So Jonathan Cox is leading, but 1.3 seconds the gap is now between Jonathan and Dan Murphy. Keep an eye on that. That is going to be very tasty indeed. I have no doubt about that. Nigel has battled his way up in the third position. He's had an almighty amount of battles, but he's up in the third position. Debutant KRC, fantastic job in fourth position. The unknown driver, he has done a brilliant job. Brandon in fifth position in the Haas. Ron Bohr Stricken who's in sixth position. Brayley, who was I think he was 17th in the end, wasn't he? He has made his way very calmly and collectively up into seventh position. Good stuff indeed. Behind him though is the Haas driver instead. Then Steve was left session unfortunately. Ninth position is the Ferrari of RH44. RH44 unfortunately is on a different strategy now, as he had to damage his car. Anger's in at 10th position. He is just behind his teammate. XR 11th position, and 12th is Echo. Those guys will have pit stops. RH44 is on the hard compound tyre. He's done 5 laps on the hard tyres. We have got Ang, who's on the medium tyres, he's done at 6 laps, so we've got 7 laps for XR on the medium as well. And Echo is just coming to the pits, we're just sitting when his teammate was retiring from the race, and he is on the hard tyres and done 1 lap then. So what about strategy then? We haven't oh my goodness me, Jonathan and Murphy are now going to get now very close together. Well, I'd say very close, it's within a second now. Murphy, let's take a look at the gap in the front. Look at that, that's incredible. He almost can reach out the cockpit and touch him now, can he? Murphy can then. So yeah, this is I think Jonathan there. I wonder if he sprinted away too much and has really damaged the tires. Perhaps I wonder if he's put too much life out of the performance out there. And Murphy, being the wildly old fox he is, there just sat back, controlled it, managed his pace, and now he's going to strike whilst the iron's hot. Then, in terms of strategies, I was just going down that route. What is the strategy? I think it's a one-stop strategy. We're already on lap 10 out of 28, and I think the hard tires are very durable around here as well. So, but you don't even want too long, do you? So I reckon another couple of laps, and these guys will be in the pits. And Stead is now starting to really drop the hammer, really put the hammer down instantly. And also KRC as well is now giving Nigel something to think about in this race then. So as I was saying, there's a bit of a lull. Well, it's not, is it anymore? Because all of a sudden these guys have come alive, haven't they? This Chinese Grand Prix on board with Daniel Murphy then in the Mercedes, and he comes on the back straight now then, where he is in DRS range. That is what 6/10 of a second looks like. Wait for it. There it is. He's got the beep there in his ear. Lovely shot of the rear ring there, and that's the DRS working absolutely splendidly well. And he drops on. Look at the amount of gains there before Jonathan there just puts. Oh, and a lovely shot here from the Mercedes. We want to look forward. There he is, Nigel there, just in front of us as well. That's the gap is down to 3 seconds. Stead has had a problem somewhere, and he has dropped back. Here is the battle for the lead then between Jonathan and Murphy then, right on cue then. So going into turn 1 at the moment, and at the moment it's status quo. But here is also, this battle is also quite close as well between the second Mercedes and the Red Bull of Nigel. Nigel's had a good old battle, but I think so is KRC. I think he's very calmly just threaded his way through the field, and is now within touching distance of a podium here. So brilliant stuff there. I'm not sure where to look really. I think Jonathan's got wide there. I think he's feeling the heat there from Murphy, isn't he? And he's really, how's he going to have to repel this attack? Lap 11 at 28. We ain't even at half distance here. This Chinese Grand Prix. So this is going to be a very, very tasty race, isn't it? So now remember this lap 11. This is where the race could really turn on its head there, as Murphy there is right all over the gearbox there with the Toro. So he's gaining. I wonder if he's just getting out the dirty air there from John Cox. Of course, Murphy is very adept there, isn't he? He's very much a Nicky Lauda-esque kind of driver, isn't he? He's very good at setting the car. He's also very knowledgeable of how to look after the car as well, isn't he? Murphy is. I've learned a lot of tips off him as well. Unfortunately, I'm not talented enough to use those tips, but it's very interesting to know some of the things that he thinks about whilst driving and whilst racing wheel to wheel with his competitors. Very good stuff indeed. Just watching KRC as well there. Just battle away with Nigel. We got two splendid battles. That's a 4/10 of a second gap now between Murphy and Jonathan as they come over the grid hatches again then to complete another lap. Murphy there, I think he's not quick enough of Jonathan. I think he's doing an absolutely fantastic job of maybe harvesting, which is keeping him just a bit into the pits. We got our first pit stopper. We got two pit stoppers here, and that is that's his KRC that he's in the pits and he's going on the hard tires then. So then he's got just over half distance. Oh, he got held up by the Haas driver there of Brandon there just slightly as the gap there. He shouldn't have lost too much time there, probably about half a second or something like that, approximately, give or take. So they're in and out. So those are the first guys coming out of the pits. LH44 unfortunately is so far back that he ain't even going to be in the same region as those guys that have just come in the pits there. What a shame there for RH44. But he's in the points there, and I think points means prizes, doesn't it? So later on in the championship, that could really help him later on, just to keep it on the straight and narrow then. So Nigel's going to have to respond here, isn't he? Because otherwise the undercut is definitely going to cause some concerns there. But also, but if Nigel does stay out, he will have better tires at the end. But he will have to pass KRC and maybe even Brandon as well. Brandon's only 3 seconds away from KRC as well. So it's going to be an interesting decision there. I'm wondering, is Jonathan or Murphy going to come in the pits as well? They do have quite a sizable gap there. It's 8 seconds up. Jonathan's gone slightly wide again there. Back on board with Murphy then. Now, is any of these two going to come in the pits? They're on board then. Jonathan is in the pits. Murphy's in the pits as well. They're mirroring each other. So, Jonathan's on the wall. Jonathan is in the wall. He's in the wall. He's done a Hamilton. That is a huge save there. Murphy is in the pits there. Jonathan there is gone off. He's in the wall. I'm not sure if he's damaged the car. Well, he came in the pits too quickly. Murphy is already out of the pits. He's on the hard tyre. Jonathan hasn't even come in the pits yet. This is incredible scenes here in the Chinese Grand Prix. He is going on to the hard tyres. Well, they're changing the front wing. That's an extra 5 seconds. What? This is appalling look there for Jonathan. He might have enough time. No, he hasn't. Nigel's come out of the pits as well. What a shame there for the race leaders. All gone wrong. Where is? Oh, look, and here comes KRC. He's blind. Where's Nigel? He's still got third position. Jonathan is gone in between Brandon and KRC in the battle for fourth and fifth position there. So Jonathan, what bad luck. Murphy is leading this race then here in the Chinese Grand Prix. Nigel is second. He is just somehow going for the KRC, who is down in the third position at the moment. This will become third later on in this race, and so I have no doubt about that, as Brayley is dropped behind Stead there. Reportedly missed out on all the issues that was going on in the pit lane now. What a shame for Jonathan there. We mentioned in qualifying about what happened to Hamilton there. There's a gravel trap back then in 2007, but even so, Jonathan damaged the car, didn't he? I'm wondering if he just came in, if there's a problem, or if he just came into the pit lane too hot there. Brady and Stead there is having a, oh my goodness me, and XR there just flying through there, and he's moved into the points now then. So XR is moved up into 10th position then. He has got where's Braley gone? Where is Braley? Braley's moved back up into 9th position somehow. There, if I missed something, I might have done. So that there's always that. I more or less have probably missed something. Back up to the front then. Stringy there is staying out, so he's going on a longer run here. Stringy is, and so I think as I got to say, this battle here is very interesting indeed. Oh my goodness me, XR there just flying through. Oh, lovely shot. Look at this rear wing on the Williams there. It's opened up the rear wing there. Oh my goodness, and Stead has left the session there. I think that's why there's all sorts of shenanigans going on. Stead's got a little problem with his internet there by the look, so I'm wondering if he might have to just give an old reboot there, and that has left Echo up into 11th position, on the verge of some points there. Stringy leads, Murphy second, Nigel in third position, KRC is in fourth position, Jonathan in fifth position. Our race leader, our former race leader, the man who's on pole position, is dropped down into fifth position at the moment then. So Stead is back in the session. So let's see what the Haas driver can do. Exil's all over the back of Exile. Can't be all over the back of himself, surely. He's all over the back of Brady is what I'm trying to say. As they come out of turn 3, there they are, and they're coming down into the turn 6, I think it is. Brady has got the advantage then so far in this race, and there's so much going on in this race. It's incredible, isn't it? Jonathan is almost in DRS of a KRC then. This is going to test the rookie's mettle, isn't it? This is going to be interesting. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. It's on board of XR then. He is on medium tires. He's done 12 laps on medium tires. Stringy's done 13 laps, and also 11 laps as well for Ang. So I got to say, there's some pretty good stints going on. That's some impressive stints as well, actually. And Ang is actually very close to the back of his teammate. I should have mentioned that earlier, really, so I apologise to Ang for that. As now then we're back up to this battle here then. Nigel has got the advancement, but KRC then, we thought the undercut work, he would have a lap older tyres than that Nigel, but of course then that I think at the moment the grand scheme thing is, so he wants to go for the undercut there. It didn't work out, just didn't work out there. Nigel, as Jonathan said, the fast lap of the race, of course you get a bonus point for fast lap, but it just didn't work out there. But yeah, it's definitely, it was definitely worth the gamble, wasn't it, for KRC? And I gotta say, he's fantastic, isn't he, this man, with the beautiful red helmet there as well, isn't he? As he comes out of turn 3, Jonathan is now all over the gearbox of the debutant. The Mercedes driver is going to be under the cosh there. He's going to be under pressure. Is Jonathan going to send it? No, not quite then. And it comes down into the first six there. Just taking a look back there, the Ferrari boys are basically nip and tuck there, aren't they? In 7th and 8th position there. They're basically one dot, as you can see on the right hand side of the track map there. Oh, KRC there just going a bit wide then, and that is definitely going to peak Jonathan's interest there. Murphy is at 2/10 of a second away from Stringy as he is on fresh tyres, and he's just got to basically wait till the DR zone. I'm wondering, I think he's just got to wait till the DR zone, and then Jonathan there just tapping the rear end there of the debutant as well as they come through the banked corner now. Jonathan he's got the pace advantage, hasn't he? And now he's going on the back straight then. We're on board there with Jonathan then. Let's see what does. Stringy and Murphy are battling away, and Stringy there is down into second position now. Oh, he almost went to the back of Murphy there. KRC, where is KRC? There's Jonathan. We're looking forward, and he's going up the inside, and he's there. He's past KRC, and he's moved up in the fourth position there. Jonathan has said into the pits comes his teammate Stringy there. So Stringy has gone for the longer stint this time, and so that would might also pay dividends as well. So he should easily get to the end on the hard tires from here on in, I should say. So Stringy there he hasn't even stopped yet. Stringy hasn't, so we're keeping on to see where he is. The two Ferraris there are still nip and tuck there. I'll say this is a good old battle, isn't it? Oh, and in comes Ang as well. Ang coming into the pits there. Yeah, I think that Jonathan must have just overcooked it slightly, and it just went into the pit, into the bar there. So, wow, that's incredible stuff, isn't it? Murphy has got a 7-second advantage at the moment over Nigel in second position. Jonathan is now in the third position. KRC is in fourth position then. This is what we're going to be we're going to be keeping tabs on, isn't it? It's this battle for the final podium positions, and Murphy's got a 7-second advantage at the moment. But as we sit in this race, anything can happen. So you got to keep on your toes, that Dan has said. But he is at the moment got a 7-second advantage over Nigel second. Jonathan is in third position. We've got fourth position for KRC. Fantastic. Brandon in fifth. He's at 5 seconds back. Stringy is coming out the pits in sixth position. He is 10 seconds away from Brandon. Is that manageable with just 12 laps to go? Yeah, it is. It's manageable there. Stringy might be able to get fifth position from this race, which be I think it'd be fairly happy with, actually. RH44 is out of sync, is in 7th position. Can he get the hard tires to the end from there? That'll be a very that'll be a mammoth stint there from LH if he can do. Oh, Jonathan getting a bit wide there. He's I think he got a bit wide there. It looked like he got a bit wide, but yeah, he's still onwards and upwards he goes. He's still in DRS range. And we come over to complete lap 16 then in this incredible race there. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Only 3 drivers have retired from this session. As I gotta say, I was just taking a break there because yeah, this is going to get really feisty, isn't it? In the final 11 or 12 laps in this race, we got 3 retirements. We've lost both Alfa Romeos. It got very intimate in the opening couple of laps there, and unfortunately Sam retired from session. Toon retired as well. I'm not sure what happened to Toon there. He came in the pits retired, and Steve and Nigel came to blows out the turn 3 there, and unfortunately the Steve was in an uncompromising position there and retired the car, unfortunately. Exile is in 12th position there. He's on the medium tyres. He should get to the end there. Angles on the medium tyres as well in the Ferrari just outside the point. Stead is the man holding those final points. He doesn't need to stop again either, but he's on the step harder tyre, so which is more durable but it'll be slower. So I think Ang and Exile should have the advantage there, but it's 6 seconds the gap is at the moment. We've also got Echo, who's now going to cause some right old problems there for Braley in 8th and 9th position, and LH44 is on 13 lap old hard tyres. He's got the oldest tires. He's got the oldest hard tyres on out there at the moment. So is he going to be thinking about going to the end of the race? Well, we'll find out. But I got to say, it'll be a very mammoth task, won't it, for LH44? But I'm sure that he has a plan if he does about getting through. So we're exiting out of the hairpin now, and we're flicking it into the final corner then. And now Jonathan there can see the lead. Nigel is keeping Murphy at the same time at the moment, isn't he? So Murphy is not pulling away at the moment. I would actually say that Nigel has actually gained slightly. Nigel's gone wide though. Nigel's gone a bit wide, and Jonathan there just trying to go on the outside, just having a sniff, but nothing venture, nothing gain, as they say. But on we go. KRC has just dropped off the back of this battle here. And I think Jonathan there, remember, he's leading the championship there, isn't he? So he doesn't want to risk it with a wilder lunge, does he? And take off his front wing. So I think Jonathan's just got to play the percentage game here. This is one race. It's Angus at the fast side of the race. Unfortunately, doesn't get that bonus point at the moment because he's not in the top 10. Yeah, if you're in the top 10, then you get the bonus point. So yeah, Jonathan there's just got to keep it all under wraps in this race. Second position, 18 points is still a very good margin, and anything can happen with 10 laps to go in this Chinese Grand Prix. So it's not all done and dusted till that funny black and white cloth is waved at the end of this race. Then, and Jonathan there is really over the gearbox of Nigel. Then as they come out of the final, out of the bank in right-hander, then on board with Jonathan. Then you can see, look at him, he's gaining gaining. Nigel has gone to the extreme inside, and wow! And he's got up the inside there. Jonathan has. Nigel is stayed behind Jonathan and is back up is in third position now. So Jonathan is now back up into second position. 7.3 seconds gap. Remember that we might be talking about that gap later on in this race then with on lap 19 out of 28. So this could still be anyone's. Oh, and Nigel there is coming back out, going inside, and Nigel flies by and is back through on the inside. Where is Jonathan? Jonathan is back on the inside. Nigel went in too deep, and Jonathan has gone up and under, and he is back through and into second position. Or is he? As Nigel there is. Oh, he just couldn't get on the power. He couldn't put the power down because the car just wanted to spin. And Jonathan is now up into second position then. Nigel dropping down the third. Then in fourth position is KRC. I wonder if Nigel and KRC might resume their battle. Well, Nigel is keeping Jonathan honest there, coming out of turn 6. But we're keeping on that battle later on because Echo is getting very interested in Brayley's 8th position at the moment, isn't he? And Echo there is also had a very interesting race, hasn't he? But he's in 9th position at the moment, the McLaren driver is. And he is in the points, and I think that get some points on days like this, it could really help you later on down the season. Now it's a very long season, isn't it? In RRC, isn't it? So of course you can never give up, can you? Because you never know what might happen later on down the line. Then Jonathan there is a loss, 7/10 of a second on this lap to Murphy, as I think he's just trying to find his bearings. I think he's just trying to find his bearings there, isn't he? Murphy, I wonder if Murphy's also turned up the wick as well. We're on board with Nigel. He's 4/10 of a second back then. Is he going to have a look? No, not quite. Jonathan there, I think, had the measure of him there. Oh, Nigel's got a 5-second penalty. Well, that's a brutal penalty, isn't it? He hardly cut the corner there. But, so Nigel getting a 5-second penalty. That might cost him the podium. Can KRC just keep it clean? And potentially he'll be on the podium in this Chinese Grand Prix. Fantastic driving there from KRC. Brilliant stuff. He's a second back of the vote. Nigel there is 4/10 of a second away from it as well. This is when now we're looking at this battle here between 8th and 9th position. Echo on the outside, Brady on the inside. Brady is just just forced him off the track there. And Brady there, very strong on touch. He got his elbows right out there, didn't he? And he keeps the position at the moment. Can Echo there? Echo looks like he's got a bit of momentum on this back straight. It's not so long as the back straight there, is it? But it might be long enough. Brady's gone on the inside. That means Echo's going on the outside. He swoops on the outside. Does he? Brady's on the inside. But Echo, fantastic overtake. But Brady's going. Oh, they've made contact and Brady just nudging him slightly out of the way there, but Echo will have the inside in turn 3, and he does have the inside, showing the rear wheel as well there, Echo. He is up into 8th position. Brady has dropped down into 9th position in the Red Bull. So Echo, that was a very good battle there, wasn't it? I quite enjoyed that. And just a couple of love taps there, nothing too extreme, and just enough to show each other that they're not going to be. Then he's just not going to breeze by, is he? So good stuff there. Good stuff there indeed. Then from oh my goodness me! Nigel's off the track! Nigel's off the track there! He just spun it off coming out of turn 13. He is I think he hasn't damaged the car there, but he's really had an issue there on the banked corner. And Nigel just went veering off to the left hand side, the right hand side of the screen. And KRC might not need the penalty there. Mercedes are first and third. Incredible stuff here in China. Nigel there, is he alright? He is alright. Is he? He's got another 3-second penalty. Nigel just needs to compose himself and hopefully get himself back into the groove of things. Brady there, I thought he's come from a long way back there, wasn't he? Brady is maybe a Daniel Ricciardo-esque kind of move I thought was coming there, but Echo seems to have had it covered. Echo is only 2 seconds away from RH44. RH44 has done 16 laps, 17 laps on those hard tires now. He's still got another 7 odd laps to go, but I think he is now decided to continue on and go for that mammoth stint on those hard tires. And he could potentially get a couple of points out of this, but Echo is really starting to bear down on him, isn't he? And I think that is what we want to see, isn't it? This battle here between LH44 and Echo and Brady as well, because Brady's being strung along, isn't he, with Echo? And there he is. There's the Ferrari, and Echo and Brady are just going to be. I don't think it's going to be a breeze by kind of thing. I'm wondering if LH44 has fought several laps in front of this battle coming up, and has got a lot of harvesting done. And if he does have a lot of harvesting done, that electric recovery system is just going to be turned to the highest point on that back straight and on the start finish straight, and he will be able to defend it. But we'll find out. He might just be attacking for all his might as well. But yeah, I think RH44 a wily old fox, isn't he? I think he is. I think he's probably fought a couple of moves in front, hasn't he, of the guys behind him. But this is going to be very interesting. Look at in the foreground there. There's Stringy there. He is 7 seconds away from Brandon at the moment. There, he's not cutting that gap down very much at all, is he? So yeah, I don't think. I wonder if the Stringy and Brandon battle, which we did forecast, didn't we, when Stringy came on the pits about 6 laps ago. Well, that might not come to fruition anymore. String's got 3-second penalty as well. Talking to String, that's unfortunate there. Now then, here comes Echo. Then as he's flying, and Echo there get a bit squirrely there out of turn 16. We're on board then with the McLaren driver, and RH44 that really does have a slippery car, doesn't it, on the back straight, flying through turn 1. I love that camera shot. There's the Red Bull, just on the inside as well. And the corner, the turn 1 tightens up into turn 2, or so to speak, doesn't it? And now then he accelerates away, then Echo does, and on the back and coming down into turn 6 then. So let's just take a quick look at the race so far then. We are on lap 22 out of 28 then. We got 7 laps to go in this race. Jonathan Murphy leads. Jonathan is second. Jonathan was leading this race, but unfortunately had issues coming into the pits there, damaged his front wing, and that is what the deficit is at the moment. It's 8 seconds. KRC in his debut is in third position. Fantastic stuff. Nigel was third, but he had issues, didn't he, on the bank-in right-hander there of coming into turn 13, and unfortunately that is really costing time. He's also got an 8-second penalty as well, at least, and he's going to be in the clutches of Brandon, I think. And then we got Stringy, who is just outside of Nigel's time time deficit at the moment in terms of penalties. So Stringy there gains a second. He will be in the window to overtake Nigel as well. Here Echoes more in the window to overtake RH44. He's on the outside. He's through. He's past the Ferrari. He is up into 7th position for the McLaren. And so Echo is now through. And I think that Echo might... well, he's done 14 laps on those hard tyres as well. So I think Echo is doing a good job as well, actually, to keep those tyres in check. On board, RH44 is in the pits then, so he's on a late pit stop in the fuel. Daisy used to be splash and dash. I think that this is more going to be just changing tyres. I didn't really have anything to say there, did I? For one-liner, that's a shame. RH44 in the pits, and I think he's going to drop outside the points as well. Maybe those harder tyres were just too much. He's on the soft tyres. I wonder if he wants a fast as that there. Keep an eye on the RH44. We might see a bit of a mini storm through the race. Might have a 5-lap sprinter here from RH44. But we'll keep an eye on that as we'll keep an eye on that later on then. Just watching Brayley at the moment. He's still a second away from the McLaren driver, I think, at the moment then. So it's status quo then. Going back to the race then as it is at the moment then. Yeah, Nigel and, at the moment Stringy is just outside the window because Nigel's got a 8-second at least time penalty. So it's the moment Stringy is just outside of that window as it stands. So so Nigel will at the moment finish at 5th position. But remember, I do not know about all the other penalties because I'm rubbish at keeping note of them. Echo, we just seen him come up to 7th position now after overtaking our H44. Echo's had a very interesting race. Brady's had a great race, hasn't he? He started down in 17th position there. He has manoeuvred his way up into a very credible 8th position there. Well done indeed. Angler, who had a very adventurous opening up there, but he is up into 9th position now. He's on the medium tyres, and he has got a 4-second lead over Stead, who's in 10th position. X on 11th position. Our H44 is in 12th position. We're just sitting coming in the pits, and he's on the soft tyres, so he is going to be taken off like a scalded cat now, isn't he? He's going to be very, very quick around the Shanghai International Circuit. As Brandon there is just dropping off the back of Nigel then, so we leave him to it for now. So we're just watching Murphy at the moment. Car 14 in the Mercedes there. I don't think it's been the quickest car today, has he? But my goodness, he was in the first stint he definitely wasn't. But towards the end of that first stint, he really put the absolute pressure on Jonathan, didn't he? I reckon he kept his tyres in the absolute. I think he was looking after his tyres, and it just kept him in the optimal window, and that has really helped him in the end of that stint, which really put pressure on Jonathan and possibly forced Jonathan into a mistake and going into the pit wall there, possibly, unless there was a technical error, a technical issue on Jonathan's side there, which we don't know about at this moment in time. But that's how Murphy is leading the race, and he's got a comfortable 8.6 second lead at the moment over Jonathan, who is second there. So yeah, so it's a big old gap now, isn't it? I think it's too much even for Jonathan there to in there for Jonathan to kind of slice down there. On board then with LH44. These are going to be some qualifying laps now, isn't it? And like I say, if you like fast cars, of course you like your fast cars. That's why you're watching us here. Why you're watching it here with us tonight. This is going to be good stuff for you, isn't it? In the Ferrari, you can see then he's going the gap when he came out the pits. He's gone purple in the second sector already, hasn't he? LH44. If he wants to get that bonus point, he needs to gain at least 10 seconds. Sorry, on those two cars in front there, because he's 5.1 seconds away from Exile. And then he's 5 seconds away from, and Exile's a further 5 seconds away from Stead as well. Stead is on 11 lap old hard tyres, 8 lap old tyres for medium tyres for Exile. I don't think it's doable, to be honest, because the laps are now starting to count down. So I think LH44 is probably just trying to steal someone's thunder here and to get the fast lap. It's all about pride as well, isn't it? As LH44 has had a very interesting race, hasn't he? Unfortunately, damaged the car on the back of a Toro Rosso, which really put paid to his race there, didn't it? So that's why he's cut adrift at the moment, and I think he's on an unusual stretch. I think this is that was his second stop. Everyone else has done one stop, because I think that's definitely the quickest way around here, isn't it? You can't 2 stops around here on a 28 lap race is just not ideal at all, is it? As LH44 there taking a bit more of a tighter line there. He's lost 0.3 of a second there, so not a good start there. Not a good start to this lap there for LH44. Having a bit of a that's a pretty poor start to the lap there for LH44. Remember, he's on the soft compound tyre as well, so he's expecting to light up the times there. Exile, I think, is 4.3 seconds. He's tuned into that into the lead that Stead's got at the moment. This but it's not quick enough. They're all got some gaps, haven't they? The closest gap is at 2 finals after session. The closest gap is actually Ang to Brayley, and it's floating between the 2 second gap at the moment. So we're keeping an eye on them two. We're going to have a Red Bull and a Ferrari duel towards the end of this race. Well, we've only got 3 laps to go as Murphy has completed another lap. I gotta say, what about driver of the day today? It's gonna be very interesting. I think Murphy has been Mr. Consistent, robotic like, hasn't he? In this race, it's been fantastic stuff. Angus just got a 3 second penalty there. As he's trying to push on. There is this battle here. It's between 8th and 9th position. Ang there is really trying to reel in the Red Bull driver, isn't he? In the final stages of this Chinese Grand Prix. You can see going wide there in turn 2. The Ferrari driver is. Yeah, Dan Murphy, I think, might be a good shout for driver today. He's been absolutely brilliant, hasn't he? Made no mistakes at all, and he is absolutely dominating out there. What about the debutant KRC? He's doing a fantastic job out there, hasn't he? In the Mercedes. I think he's also a man that definitely can stand out as well. And I think Brady as well has done a very respectable job in the Red Bull. So that's my take on driver today. But who knows? Of course, that will get voted for after the race. Then, as we're watching car 62, Ang there, who's really homing in on the Red Bull driver now. As Brady is really struggling on those 13 lap old medium tyres, and he is now becoming under increased amount of pressure from Ang. These medium tyres should last for another couple of laps, and that might be more than enough. Then he's also got a 3 second penalty, hasn't he? I can't remember what. Can't remember if Brady's got a penalty at the moment or not, but nonetheless, then we're going to see some overtaking maneuver, I think, as we're on board. Then look, see, that's what half a second gap looks like. Look up in the foreground. There's Echo there. He's 9 seconds of drift of stringing there. So Brady there's gone a bit wide there, and Anger's going to go up and under already, is he? My goodness me, that would have taken Brady well by surprise there. Brady there taking this racing line there. I'm going onto the grass slightly, and here he comes, and they're coming over the grid hatches there as well. DRC label. Brady is under almighty pressure. The Ferrari is through before you would get to turn 1. We're on board with the Red Bull, and Ang there is through. It is done and dusted. Oh no! And Stead there, who's got the fastest of the race, and it's just left the session there. So Stead there. Wow, that's an impressive time there from Stead, isn't it? My goodness me. Where did that pace come from? Unfortunately, though, he is going to lose that fastest lap. So he ain't going to lose the fast lap, but unless LH44 really winds up a good one. And look, there's the AI car. Exile flies on the outside. He is through. And Stead there got the fast lap and then just quit. That was kind of like a mic drop there, wasn't it? So go smash the fast lap out there and just cause it a day for Stead. I'm sure that's not the case. I think there was... That was an issue because he was on the point there, wasn't he? So he didn't want to he definitely didn't want to throw away a point there, did he? Stead didn't, but unfortunately that's what's occurring at the moment now. He's lost 2 points potentially, because he would have finished if he finished in the points, he would have got an extra point for that fast lap. And that was a good fast lap. Remember, that's 14 lap old hard tyres there for Stead. Where's that pace come from? My goodness me! I've got to say, that was a mammoth of a lap there from Stead then, but unfortunately I think his Goat's car are on board with him now, so that's unfortunate. There's RH44 just coming to the back of Stead as well then, so yeah, Stead there has lost 2 points potentially there in the Haas, so that's a shame. And ROH then proceeds on. Then he's up to 11th position. He's 7 seconds away from the points now, though. ROH 44, and he, unfortunately, his fastest lap attempt. Well, I'm not sure if he was trying to go for fast lap or if it was just a throw on the set of soft tires and just have a comfortable ride to the end there. But yeah, unfortunately, ROH 44's race was probably not the most fruitful race, was it today? It just didn't go according to plan there for the Ferrari driver, did it? They went to plan for this man, though. Car 14, Dan Murphy, 9.8 seconds the gap is. Wow, that's an incredible gap indeed, isn't it, from Dan Murphy? He has done an absolutely splendid job today. And he's on the back straight of the Mercedes drivers, and he is on course then to win round 5 of Friday night racing here in RRC. And this is definitely what we want to see. He's going to definitely bunch up the championship like a good one, isn't it? Of course, the two men who was first, second in the championship started on the front row, and it came through the final quarter, and Dan Murphy wins the Chinese Grand Prix for Friday night racing. Brilliant stuff there from the Mercedes driver. Absolutely splendid drive from Dan Murphy. Jonathan came through to finish second there, and I think he might be ruining that second position there. He kind of took him outside the fight there. KRC, brilliant drive on his debut, up in the 4th position there. Nigel there in 4th position there, but he's got a 5 second penalty plus another 3 seconds at least. He might drop down. He does drop down to 4th position there, but I think he'll be in front of Stringy there. Stringy's final attempt there on the hard tyres. He came into the pits quite a lot later than anyone else, but unfortunately didn't pay dividends in the end there. Echo coming through to finish in 7th position there for the McLaren team. 8th is Ang. Good stuff there from Ang. Brady in 8th position there, so Brady there, of course, that 3 second penalty we seen from Ang earlier on there. It really cost him then position there. And into 10th position there is Exile as well, and he comes through to have I thought he was going to have a smashing win there, or smashing for 10th position there. Here comes RH44 in 11th position there. I think a lot of disappointed drivers then. And Stead then, who gets the final shot of the Chinese Grand Prix, is in 12th position there, and he had an absolutely incredible fast lap. I'm not sure how if that's a legit fast lap or not. If it is, where's that pace been all the way through the race? That's what I'll be asking my driver. A brilliant win there for Dan Murphy, echoed by Tristan as well in the comment section. A fantastic drive. I look at 2 Mercedes on top of the podium. Team Mercedes have had a cracking day. They really have. And Dan there soaking up the champagne. Jonathan there doesn't look too disappointed in 2nd position, but I think he might be ruining that mistake in the pit entry there. Of course, unfortunately, we did have a similar issue with David Coulthard back in '95, hadn't they? I'll bring that up as well, because that's another thing that haunts me as well. Let's just take a look at the final classification then from the Chinese Grand Prix, shall we? So Dan Murphy there, who wins the Chinese Grand Prix. Fantastic stuff. Jonathan was a second in the end then. KRC in 3rd position in the 2nd Mercedes. Brilliant stuff. 4th position is Brandon. 5th position is Nigel. Stringy in 6th position. Echo 7th. Brayley from 16th to 8th, fantastic stuff. Ang from 18th to 9th, good stuff. Exile in 10th position, and LH44 11th. Retirements in was Stead, Steve, Toon, and Sam, all retired from this Chinese Grand Prix. Jonathan has requested for an interview. Yeah, sure, come on in. My party's always open. And yeah, anyone who wants an interview, come on in. Have a natter and all that kind of good stuff. And that's the final scenes of the Chinese Grand Prix then, and that's a lovely shot as well, isn't it? Because it comes to that double right-hander, left-hander there. I must admit, I haven't actually looked at the calendar yet, so I'm not 100% sure what the next race is, which is very bad journalism from myself, isn't it? I need to Oh, I need to get myself sorted out there. Of course, remember, Friday Night Racing doesn't have the official calendar of Formula One, does it? They've jazzed it up a bit, haven't they? They've made it a bit more exciting then, so it's not the same races over and over again, isn't it? So that is exactly what we want then. Jonathan has just joined us in the gantry now. Jonathan, I got to say that's an absolutely spectacular pole position, but unfortunately, I got to bring up the pit entry there. What happened there?
Basically, my tyres were just completely shot, and my brakes. I had a little bit of an issue with the braking, but a bit embarrassing really to do a Lewis Hamilton in the pit straight from China. But anyway, congratulations to Dan Murphy. Great race, consistent, great pace, and overall, I'm disappointed to not win the race, but I'm happy to finish second. I'm still on the podium, but yeah, I'm happy but disappointed at the same time.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse because they bring flashbacks to the Lewis Hamilton nightmare, which I still have bad nightmares about. But luckily, though, you did get out there, unlike Lewis Hamilton, and you did get second in the end, which will pay dividends later on the championship, I'm sure, because it's becoming a titanic battle between yourself and Dan at the moment at the top of the tables.
Dan Murphy's a great driver. Speak with him regularly, respect the guy. Good friends, and we're both pretty much similar pace. Yeah, it's going to be a titanic battle. But whoever wins the title deserves to win the title, and we'll just take care of each race as it comes, and hopefully expect a titanic battle to the end of the season.
Amen to that. I hope it's all the way through the season, because that would be definitely very interesting to say the least. And talking to your tyres getting shot, then was you just struggling to keep the tyre wear under control in this race? Because yeah, by the sounds of it, Murphy did have the better tyre life coming into the pit stop window.
I got off to a great start. The tyres felt fine at first, but then towards the end of the first stint, I was starting to feel like vibration. I was starting to feel the tyres going off, and it was starting to become a struggle. And then I thought to myself, I'll box. But then I made the unfortunate mistake of tapping the wall, which damaged my front wing, and it cost me like 7 or 8 seconds. And it was. I tried my hardest to close the gap, but Dan had great pace. It was pretty much impossible for the last stint, so I settled to my own race pace, and then I settled for second, and it's still a great result, but I'm disappointed and happy at the same time.
Yeah, it could be a lot worse there. So if we can get not ripping off the front corner of your car is definitely I'd say a blessing, and not getting a DNF is definitely a high point to this race. I'm sure of that. Fantastic stuff. So thank you for joining me in the commentary box there, Jonathan. Brilliant stuff. And by magic, I know what the next race is as well. It's not like Reino there just kind of fishing me out of trouble there. We are in Abu Dhabi in the next race, which is next Friday stuff. I gotta say, I love Abu Dhabi. It's beautiful, isn't it? Especially on the lights there, and I'm really looking forward to that. A lot of drivers might be groaning about that one. They're not it's not a fan favourite, the Abu Dhabi races, but I love it nonetheless. And yeah, join us in a week's time, both gold and silver once again be simulcast, won't it? With either myself or no, we'll be doing one or the other, and it's looking very good stuff in both silver and gold. It's absolutely brilliant stuff. It's like Champions League-esque. I love it. Join us next Friday night at 8 p.m. UK time, where we'll be doing this all over again, but in Abu Dhabi. For now, it's goodbye.